Hello everybody, a new leader just got announced for Gwent, the 4th out of 5, Scoia'tael Eldain. Ready to give my impressions and reaction to this new leader and his ability. So let's jump into the video, see what he does, and I'll give my thoughts and impressions on Eldain, the new leader. Cool.
To run from murderous men or to fight? That was his dilemma. Sadly for all humankind, he chose the latter.
You've no idea what's to come.
Okay, Eldain. So he has an order ability, and that is transform a face-up allied trap into an elven deadeye. And has 3 charges, and the Elven Deadeye is a 3 power elf with Doomed. 3 power elf. So, okay, 3 charges of 3 power effectively, but you need to have a trap already activated to use this ability. So, off the bat, doesn't seem very strong. Very cool ability. I like the idea of sort of transforming your cards, yeah, changing stuff on the board that's already there, and I mean, there's already some kind of stuff with traps that I like that, with things like Pyrotechnician, right? So it's not really too common of an ability, and it's pretty neat. Like you're gaining strength from the artifact that you're no longer using. That's pretty nice. I like the design, but first impressions are that seems pretty weak, honestly. 3 charges. So basically, at max, this gets you 9 points. To be fair, you can get 3 elves from it, and if you're playing elf synergy, so things like Ailerin, things like Isengrim, Yavin, etc., which you already do play in Scoia'tael quite often, then you can get, in theory, more than 9 strength. But the problem is, I'm not sure you'll be able to get the elf synergy off at the same time as getting the trap, sort of, playing your 3 traps in a round. I think it's going to be quite hard to build a deck that can successfully play 3 traps in round 3, which is probably when you want to use the charges most of the time, right? Typically with these charge leaders, you don't want to waste the charges earlier in the game, and you want to save them for later on. So that means you maybe have to save your traps for round 3, or you have to be playing a lot of them. Like right now, what traps actually work with this? So Crushing Trap, of course. Mahakam Horn doesn't, probably because unless, I guess, maybe you have last say in a round, your opponent passes, it triggers the Mahakam Horn, and then you can use your Eldain. So you would have to have last say for that to work, in the round 3, for example. So that's kind of a bit iffy. There's, of course, Crushing Trap and Pitfall Trap, which are also the other playable traps. Now, I don't know if it's going to be you're able to consistently get those off. So if you have 4 traps in deck, for example, right, you would need to draw 3 of them in round 3 and have them not get removed by artifact removal. Okay. In theory, he can get 9 points and then Elf Synergy, but are you really going to play Elf Synergy with the traps? Maybe, maybe not. I guess there's an incentive to play Incinerating Traps, but I think those are very bad. Not really ever played at the moment because they're just not good enough. And I don't think the presence of Eldain will really change that fact. I suppose you could play stuff like Serpent Trap as well. There's maybe a bit of room to add a few extra trap cards which you normally wouldn't play, probably, but I don't see I don't see the upside of 9 points, 9-point elf synergy stuff being worth the potential, you want your leader to be consistent value, right? And I have a feeling he's not really gonna get that value most of the time. And if he does, you're maybe, hindering your deck a little bit in the deck builder or in the mulligans or in the way you play it actually in the game. And of course, if you can't save all the charges for round 3, that might not be ideal. So yeah, pretty much my feelings are, seems quite a cool ability and probably quite fun to play with, but I don't see it being very strong. There would have to be a lot of new trap cards introduced, probably, that are actually quite good. The thing is, right, if you're playing the Eorveth Pitfall combo, yes, sometimes you'll play Crushing Traps as well, but it's very rare that you have 3 of them on the board, that you're able to proc this sort of effect from. So I don't see him fitting in any deck at the moment, and I don't think the the upside of the leader is good enough to enable any new trap decks right now. Potentially in the future if there are new traps that are added which are quite strong, but I just don't see the support being there right now. So cool ability. Probably would be a shame if it's not played very much, but I just don't see that ability being very strong, to be honest. So yeah, let's watch on. That animation's pretty cool, to be honest.
You shall end like all the others.
Eldain joins the squad down. Okay. Well, I mean, not much more to add there. I'm very glad that the yeah, I was thinking it would be quite a predictable ability, maybe replay a trap or something like that, but that's a pretty cool way to have strength on a leader that's not just tied to the leader itself, like with Harold or Woodland. You've got a versatile leader, but also actually getting you points on the board rather than doing some janky ability like Emir or whatever. Anyway, the point is, cool ability, but I just don't see that being very strong. Maybe even not for a while. There would have to be, you know, a pretty much solely trap archetype, I think, for him to be played. Then again, if he has very high provisions, I think he only has 17, right? So, or was it 16? Maybe it was 16. Actually, I can probably check that. Because yeah, it was 16. Only 16 provisions. So, I mean, that's not a bad amount of provisions, sure, but I don't think that'll be good enough. Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe he'll get buffed at some point, or maybe new traps will come out that enable that to work. But I just see that being too inconsistent, really. Yeah, there's some elf synergy that you can do, maybe, but I'm not sure that's going to be worth it. You may as well just play a full elf package and not use the traps. Maybe play Bruiser and a nice finisher instead, or Ithne for the provisions or whatever. So yeah, cool ability. Don't think it will be that great. Let me know what you guys are thinking about that. I am loving the leader reveals though. They're very easy to get hyped for, and yeah, very, very cool to watch. Not long left, probably a few days now. Another leader to be revealed in a couple of days, I guess. The monster leader, which I'm actually most looking forward to out of all of the leaders. I think the card art for that one is going to be really cool, and I am a big fan of monsters as well. So let me know what you think of this ability, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Please do subscribe if you want more videos every day, and I will see you next time.